Hey there, how's it going? Hopefully everyone is having a good day today. Yes, I am indeed still working on the same project. As you can see, I'm currently working on the animation for the main player. This, of course, won't be player controlled, but instead sort of like a little intro, one similar to GoldenEye when you first boot up. More or less a simple cutscene that gets the game idea across without being longer than 20 seconds. So I decided to make my pixel person notice the camera, run at it, then turn and flip off the edge, and the end would smoothly transition to the start menu. Or at least that was the general idea in my head in the beginning. To start things off, I set a goal of completing a single frame of the animation in 5 minutes. That way I can try and push myself to move things around and erase and delete things to get the desired result quickly, while also not overdoing anything. This of course is so I can move the animation along and push myself to get to the next frame and see what it looks like then. This clip is a couple hours long, and I only believe I've gotten a rough draft to go off of for later. After working on the animation for a while, I figured it would be a good idea to take a break and get back into working on the mechanics for the game. I'm still stuck on whether or not to give the player the freedom to move wherever they want on the screen, or to instead force the player into running forwards, or maybe just incorporating more downhill sections. The reason I say this now is because I don't feel like there's enough incentive for the player to push forwards, or maybe the flow just feels off. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that I want to add some form of grinding mechanic to my game, mainly because games with tricks usually have some form of grinding mechanic, and I generally just think it looks cool. So I have come to the conclusion that it is a lot harder than expected to implement a grind mechanic, as I find myself going back and forth between different ways that people have created it to better understand how it should be implemented. What I found most helpful on the internet as far as info on this particular subject was an article from Catlike Coding and a YouTuber by the name of Alexander Zotov. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Of course, links to both can be found in the description. Now currently things are working surprisingly well, and it only took a week to figure it out. I of course ran into my fair share of problems, but that's just part of programming. After setting the grinding mechanic, I decided to hop back into some animations. This time I wanted to make a spawn animation for the player. For whatever reason I had this idea in my head to have a lightning strike the ground and use that to give off the illusion that the player is traveling through the lightning. And actually I have to say I'm impressed with the result. I ended up using a charging animation that I didn't currently have a use for and plopped that into the scene, and now it's actually looking pretty good. Progress on the game has been admittedly slow. I've been trying a few things in the background in regards to tricks and overall aesthetic, and I am currently pivoting the game design. I originally wanted the background to be a nice gradient with more of a tech-heavy feel to it, but right now it's lost its luster, and I feel like the game would benefit more from simplicity, so I'll be switching from multiple colors for everything to primary white for the player, and more than likely a black background. Also, I will be pivoting away from a primarily trick-based game. This is due in part to the fact that I don't believe I could make the game as fun with just tricks and jumping. Does this mean they will be removed completely? I'm not sure. I just know that I want to keep working on the project and I'm really enjoying it so far, but adding more and more tricks doesn't add anything to the game. Currently, I'm working on some enemy animations, but I have a lot left in store, so hopefully you'll stick around for the ride. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like as it helps out a ton, and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, take it easy. Peace.